Welcome to Rotten to the Bid. My name's Dizzy and I have one question to ask you. Have you played... Oh. It's wet.
You fucking bitch, you're gonna leave me? You fucking bitch!
You should have stopped that I can't feel my legs.
Wet is a game by Artificial Mind and Movement and published by Bethesda, where you play as Elijah Dushku playing Faith from Buffy the Wade.
Sorry, that isn't right. I mean... Well, now that you think about it, it kinda is.
Wet is a game where you play as Elijah Dushku playing the only character Elijah Dushku ever plays. Super badass hot chick who doesn't take shit from anyone. This time, Elijah Dushku plays Ruby, a bounty hunter with a body count higher than the children I've eaten.
It's a lot. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but it's a lot.
Ruby is set on a job that seems normal enough, but ends up being a double cross. It's a love letter to the old action grindhouse films. But is it a bloody mess of boring gameplay, circles to slide through, and too much slow-mo? Swords, guns, and blood?
Yes. I mean, let's find out.
Wet's gameplay is incredibly simplistic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a point-driven game where you have to kill as many people as possible in a row while in an arena, with basic platforming puzzles connecting each arena. It's simple, and honestly, that is fine. Each arena has generators to shut down and enemies you have to clear. After each arena, you can use the points you gain to purchase upgrades like damage boosts, clip sizes, and extra acrobatic skills.
Okay. Why do I keep bringing it up? Why do I keep reminding you that games don't have to be complicated? They can be simple. They can be fun and simple. That things don't have to overcomplicate things to be good. Why do I keep reminding you of this? Well...
Because the game is incredibly simplistic, it has a really big issue, and it's not the bloody mass murder. But it's the way they force you to perform the mass murder. So, the creators clearly saw John Woo films or The Matrix one too many times, because the only safe way to fight in this game is slow-mo bullet time. Ruby can run on walls, slide on her knees, leap through the air, and other acrobatic stuff. And when she shoots while doing this, she enters bullet time. That lasts as long as she stays airborne, or kneeborne, etc., etc. And when not in bullet time, Ruby can slash people with her cool sword. But the problem is, the enemies are amazing shots when you're not flying through the air. So 99% of the match is spent in bullet time, which sounds a lot more fun than it is.
You see, when bullet time is normally used, it's used to emphasize something action-oriented, something action-packed, something suspenseful, something grandiose. But everything can be over-fucking done.
But every fucking action scene is forced to be played in slow motion! Even the purchasable upgrades either increase damage output or a way to maintain that bullet time effect. The other problem is, of the 4 weapons, only one has unlimited ammo, and even when fully upgraded, it takes way too long to kill anything. This wouldn't be an issue, but ammo seems scarce, so you don't want to use more powerful weapons on normal enemies, and you end up saving the other ammo for the bigger enemies. The other problem is, as long as you're good at staying in midair, it's not hard to stay alive. And even easier because health regenerates faster if you have a bigger kill streak. Each level has a stretch of platforming puzzles that lead to the arena that has a collection of enemy generators that has to be shut down before being able to clear the room. Sometimes you enter a mode called Rage Mode. And I could be wrong here, but besides for an aesthetic change, I honestly can't figure out what the point is or what the difference is. But I might have just not been paying attention. I'll cop to that. That's my bad. Sorry. There are other types of levels, but they are far and in between. The car chase scenes and the turret scenes are kinda unbalanced because they still follow the same rules as the regular action scenes, making the car chase scenes unbelievably annoying and the turret scenes unbelievably easy. I mentioned before, but the aesthetic of the game is an old grindhouse drive-in film, and because of that they have custom-fake commercials and a grainy filter to cover up the overall boring look of the game. Besides a few random characters, there's nothing special in the look or design department at all. What is special is the soundtrack. It is a haven of some weird indie music and is the best part of the overall experience. By fucking far.
Okay, so I don't normally do spoilers on this show right now, so here's the first spoiler warning. Okay, that's of course if you still want to play this game after everything I just said, but you never know.
The game is mediocre. That much is clear. But at least it tries to be an action-packed thrill ride, so it's kind of inexcusable that the last mission of the game, the only real boss fight of the whole game, is not only a quick-time event, but an ugly, poorly animated, slow, easy quick-time event. All attempts at style thrown out the window. All attempt at fast-paced action thrown out the window and replaced with super slow, super easy fight between a chick with an awesome design, but, you know, poor fucking animation skills. Apparently, the students animated this part. Like, no offense to students, but that's what it looks like. It looks like a student animated scene. It's that fucking inept. Again, some students do some really good animation. I'm not trying to, shit on students here. But I'm just saying I'm really, really, really frustrated and really looking hard to see the actual professional quality that is apparently on... Sorry. It's just... Whoever looked at this nonsense, this garbage of unprofessional quality, and said, yeah, this is a great way to end your high-stakes action game, should be shot and gutted and eaten alive. On to the next part! On to the next part!
Now, not every game needs a story, but what? What do you mean this game had a story? Don't you fucking lie to me! Don't you fucking tell me this!
What has a story that is completely skippable? Seriously, Street Fighter's story is more important than this. Ruby takes a job to bring the son of a powerful person back home and is double-crossed, so she's out for revenge. And that's it. The game doesn't even seem to realize that its story is so inconsequential, because it keeps throwing up names to remember and gives you extra content that fleshes out this backstory. But honestly, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. The story is just there to link up one action scene to the next, and because it's an homage to old drive-in action flicks, that's honestly to be expected. This wouldn't be a problem if the gameplay was good on its own. And I already told you how that worked out. The other frustrating thing is the game is littered with good actors, but you still get scenes like this.
Or has connections in ports all over the world. Because of this, he's managed to have a stranglehold on the designer drug market in most of Europe and Asia. He has a son named Trevor.
Yeah, I've met him.
Well, when his father dies, he's next in line to inherit the family businesses, both the ports and the drugs.
What's he doing in Hong Kong?
Drumming up his drug business. Word is, he's been making a lot of noise over there. And he doesn't do it alone. He's got men, a lot of them. And they're not afraid to push their weight around to protect Trevor. It's not going to be easy to get him.
Any idea where he is right now?
No. Unless you're on the inside, that information's privileged.
Seriously. Scrubbing it doesn't even begin to explain the problem here. It's like the actors didn't even read the script beforehand. Or were just fucking bored the whole time. What is the fucking point of having bigger name actors if they can't pull off simple fucking lines? What's the fucking point?
characters are pretty great. It's too bad the actors are. So what do we have? What do we have? Action scene to action scene with a boring story and no purpose at all. I've been really hard on this game. But is it fun?
Okay, I will be honest. This game probably isn't as bad as I've been letting on. But the problem is that it's horribly boring. This game plays itself off like a high-octane action film, but you spend so much time in slow motion that it just becomes a horribly boring experience. And I personally would rather have a horribly fucking awful game than a horribly fucking boring one. Seriously, there's nothing more fucking infuriating than a boring experience. I would rather have a toothy blowjob over a boring experience. I would rather someone cut my dick off and shove it up in my ass than a boring experience. I would rather fuck a cactus or a beehive than a boring fucking experience. Because at least then, those experiences are memorable.
So besides clogging my toilet, Wets is an incompetent mess of boring gameplay, shitty story, and overall ineptitude. So never play it. Forget about it. Forget you ever heard about it. Forget this video after watching it a couple dozen times. This has been Rotten to the Bit. And remember, I'm always watching you. Oh, and happy 2017.